Cool. Okay, so Sketch83, I thought I would start us out using a pre-existing sketch that was made for during a period of study for a generative class that I taught, and just had a lot of extra sketches from that period of time that collected a lot of dust. So I think the first step here is to kind of break this thing down, try to figure out what it's doing, and then just sort of start manipulating it from there. It looks like we've got some kind of sound generator, maybe from this vinyl distortion here, and just start muting things to... Yeah, it looks like this thing is wherever this clip is left off, the automation point, this thing is turned on. And I'm thinking that we are pulling sound here. Okay, so maybe we're coming through these three. Okay, so this is a MIDI effects. We are pulling notes from here. Looks like a bunch of weird MIDI effects going on there. I swear, sometimes I come back to these projects and I just have no clue what's happening. But this... Yeah, I don't think we need to figure out exactly what's going on there, but I think this thing is pulling MIDI from our dad jazz layer. We've got 3 clips with follow actions, no doubt. Doing further processing, I guess note length, interesting. So let's just hit play and see what happens. Okay, looks like we've got this song settings thing, so several different song types, I guess. I'm just gonna push play on these and sort of have a listen. First thing I'm hearing is, yeah, some of these effects are really intense. So I'm going to, looks like this one is a feedback loop of some kind, so that's cool. Pull that down. That's probably where most of the volume is coming from, maybe. It must be pulling from this. I think for now I like it best without the reverb. Okay, that was doing a lot. So this may be pulling audio from... Okay, that makes sense. So we're bypassing our effects. We've got this... Looks like maybe another type of feedback loop. All right, let's hear this one. Okay, let's break this layer down a little bit. Looks like we've got different sections in this instrument rack here. Melody, bass, hi-hat, snare. I think this is the same formula we used for one of our racks, our presets here. I think one of these idiom obvious maybe. I know that cheesy generic sound anywhere. So let's pull this one open. Lots of timbres. Looks like we're splitting them up via key. Different keys play different. Awesome, and it seems like we've got a little bit of bass coming through, maybe, the blips. Okay, so only the D sharp is firing off the melody, and it looks like C1 coming in. We've got some kind of... I see MIDI gates, and MIDI gates are off for everything except... kick is interesting. It is almost like not really... That's a bit better, I think. I think I'm going to have to automate that. Very cool. Let's... this project does not have this thing mapped properly. Normally my middle mouse button turns on this thing, so let's see, maybe it's the shifted, the tilde. Yep, looks like the tilde works. Kind of like this oscillation between long attacks and the snaps. Let's see, what else can we mess with? Cool. Now it's just going to be a process of, as per usual, going through and moving around knobs, trying to hear interesting things that come from that, and then automate it. It's always a trick to move knobs a certain way and remember what way you moved them, and then try to turn on the automation record. Also trying to remember where you left off before you started moving things around. Trying to like backtrack it's a bit of a memory game, but I think cool. I like that every now and then. That kind of, oops. You can really like add some warpiness to this bass by it would be so amazing to have a Max for Live patch that could just generate random lengths of automations and automation stuff like this in there. You could just click on a knob, hit a button, and then it would just boom, just kind of make that happen for you. That would be so crazy awesome. I'm gonna leave that as it is. Yeah, let's see about, what does this noise sound like? Yeah, I think a little bit of that could be cool. Very cool. Okay. Subtle, but that's all we want. Now let's try moving some of these around. Yeah, I like that as it further sort of messes things up. Yeah, let's play with that as well. Cool, let's get some, looks like our E-gate melodies are turned off for this one, so let's... I'm going to just turn this on all the way. We'll come back to this and automate that to be a little more sparse. But I want to leave it on all the way so that we can hear this, to be able to automate and mess with some of these. Cool. Now we definitely want to get all these modulating. I think that's going to be some interesting... It'll take a little while. Again, would be amazing to have a Max for Live hash that just did this for us, and if I really had the time, I might look into it. Although I don't know if, honestly, if Max for Live can handle creating automations. Now, it might be able to take an automation, a pre-existing one, copy it and paste it over. Who knows? So I'm going to spend a few moments in silence, just listening to what I'm doing. And try to come up with something interesting with this melody. I think right now it sounds pretty static. Kind of boring. I also really want to automate some of the audio effects stuff happening. I feel like it's pretty non-moving. Okay, this one needs some love. Okay, cool. So I think it's in a pretty good spot. I'm going to make it so that this one with the follow actions is the first one. These all just spend a little bit of time and then jump back to this first one. So we're going to make this first one play for 2 measures. Let's say 1.32, and then we'll have these only play for, and these are going to jump back to the first, and we'll make this 2 here. Okay, so, and then maybe every now and then, only 9% of the time, these will play again. They're all going to be legato. And 90% of the time, this one will play again, but we'll jump to these every now and then. So I'm not sure what that's going to sound like. Make this jump to every other. Let's just try it. Now, mind you, this is the clip that has all the automations we added, and these don't. These still have some automations, but definitely getting some funny stuff out of this. Wherever our grain delay is in here. Let's automate this on. Kind of like cuts the effect sounds out so they're not so constant. Oops, didn't mean to turn that one off. But every now and then, maybe it could go off. Well, let's see, maybe this clip to stop it, since these are all follow acting so much, and we'll just make it turn off for this clip only. Now let's see what happens. Every now and then this will shut off, which will make it dramatic. I guess it's kind of a mute. So maybe we should just have this one turn off instead. Let's see what do we get here. Click on this. Show automation. I see. Now this one off. Cool. Let's try that on for size. Here's that grain delay. A strange, like, stopping effect that's kind of nice. Really hearing for this melody layer some kind of Max for Live stuff. Maybe like the reverser could be interesting. Okay, so this one, we've got it. I'm going to say, let's have it only stick around on this clip for 2 beats. I think I'm seeing what the problem is, and it's that we have this one off, and we really want, I think this one is the one we want off. Whoops. Delete. And let's choose this one to mute. And I do want to get some follow actions going with different tempos. I'll make this one. We'll make all of these follow actions on. Play any, let's see, this one, play any other. And maybe play itself again. This one will make 30. 50 beats per minute. And I think for these, all but the first one, we're going to make it jump back to the first one. So we'll make these all jump back to first, and we'll play any other one. Follow time on these. 2 beats, maybe 1 beat. 1 beat for this one, and then 2 beats for these. Yeah, let's get those going. And this one, 1 measure. And we've got, let's see, this one will sort of be the wild card. Since we haven't set a tempo, it's gonna keep the tempo of whatever last one the tempo set before it plays this one. Maybe this is just a little too slow, but that stop was kind of interesting. So maybe this one we'll make really fast, and we'll only have it stick around on for 1 beat. And it'll jump back to the first one. So far, kind of a funny and decent salvage of an old, dusty, generic sounding generative piece of music. Let's get some max effects in here. I want to try out the reverser on this melody. And let's hope it doesn't crash. We have had crashes before when dragging Max for Life patches in. Awesome. And I think an LFO is going to work great before this. Yeah, maybe we want this one to stick around a little bit longer. 2 measures, perhaps. That way we get a little more normalcy happening for longer. Now let's try the... Whoopsie. I hate it when they put hidden links inside of Max for Live patches. So annoying. Accidentally clicked there and voila, I got a browser in my face. It's kind of obnoxious. Very video game sounding piece, I must say. Although I think if I was playing a video game with this particular piece in there, you know, if it was a puzzle game, I think my nerves would be shot after listening to something like this for hours and hours. But if this was just like a section where you're kind of running through a side-scroller, kind of classic, futuristic 3D side-scroller, that would be pretty cool, I guess. Now that I'm sort of having had listened to this thing for a while now, I am hearing the chorus effect we added earlier is a bit in your face. So I'm going to automate that to only... Maybe also this... I'm curious what... Nice. Okay, let's try that on for size. Now we got to get some effects on this group here. Only way to do that as far as I know, is to route the audio over to a gate or some such that has this. I know Max for Live now in 11 has the ability to, you could have a Max for Live patch that would pull audio from here, which is cool. Opens things up. Easy enough to just use a gate, of course. And let's do send only on that. We don't need all these scenes here. No, we sure don't. Awkward pause, haha. But I think we're going to consider this future jazz. Gotta have, you know, those pauses are going to make sense. I think this on every now and then could be cool. It's very old school sounding. Let's make this a lot longer, 8. Yes, we must automate you. We gotta turn that off. Make our auto hotkey work. Very glitchy. Yup. Feel like we need that guy, that reggae guy. Big ups! Coming in every now and then. This was some kind of cheeky video game. You did great! Extra points! Okay. lot of this got cut off for some reason. For whatever crazy reason, so we'll just duplicate it and then smooth it out. There we go. Let's duplicate that. Copy some sections, just kind of mash it up a little bit in there. And ooh, I didn't want it that small. Why does it do that? Sometimes things happen in here and I'm like, what? It's got a mind of its own. Yeah, that on every now and then is cool. Just every now and then. Big ups! Every now and then. Things are getting too silly. Calm down, you're saying. Calm down. Cool. Duplicate that. Smooth it out. Yes. And let's try some feedback. This could get weird. Cool. Yeah, why not? Regulator, one of my favorite pluggo devices of all time. It's a little bit like noisy, a little gritty in a digital crusty kind of way, but I tell you that this, you know, garbagey kind of digital sound that Ableton does so well. We need to set this to legato. I see it's kind of restarting a bunch. You can see our playhead restarts every time this scene plays, so we need to get that clip playing again, and then also press legato. Let's flip this one. Let's mirror that. Awesome. Let's definitely get this thing here. Definitely don't want that much dry wet. We haven't played with the amp variation either, or the speed. Let's see. It's weird that they set the range to be like this wide, but we'll just leave this here. Pull this down a little bit. There we go. Very cool. And then every now and then, let's just have that thing flip on. I think if you put it on the whole mix like we're doing, it's maybe too much reverse effect in your face. Awesome, let's try... Oh, we got additive heaven here. I'm not sure if this will lend anything, but let's see. Let's see what we can get out of it. Oh wow. Cheesy. Yep. Nintendo approved. No, we need to litter this thing with effects, I think. We need to Yep, I can definitely see us running around picking up mushrooms, chasing after turtly monsters, jumping through the air on the back of a dumb, slimy dinosaur. Sorry for all you dumb, slimy dinosaur fans out there. Man, I'm just wrecking my reputation today. Let's get another one of these in here, but I'm going to reset the phase back so it's more like our auto pan. Pretty nutso. Let's... And gotta have some probability in there. Probability gate. Let's use our nifty Master Alive device. Very cool. So we will just pull this off the grid a little bit. What's going on here? Alright, I'm going to do something dumb and put this drum rack on the entire mix. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Gives the whole thing a bit of lift. Cool. So, yeah, feeling all right about this one. I mean, there's certainly a ton more effects we could add. So, a little unpredictable starts and stops. Just see this robot band. Let's try this thing. Automate that. really adds to the sort of cute robot effect. Man, this thing really got that gritty Ableton sort of crusty digital sound to it. Which I know, in 20 years that's going to be, everyone's going to be like, yeah, we love this sound, we miss it. Everyone knocks it now. But, you know, you use all of one plugin type in your songs, you are going to end up with a certain sound. I will say the Ableton ones, like the noise sections of the Max for Live, are a little crusty and digital, you know, which is probably fine for just doing like live performance. No one's going to notice over a big smart system. But for, I guess, the purposes of sketching, you know, it's just like working with a crappy number 2 pencil or something on lined notebook paper versus, you know, having really fancy pens and pencils. And to be honest, you can do amazing work with just crappy number 2 pencils when you're sketching, drawing, or whatever. I've even seen some people do amazing pieces with just a Bic pen, you know, on like really just a plain piece of printer paper. It's more the idea behind it that counts, you know, more so than the tools used to execute the idea. Although having good tools, you know, does help, in my opinion. Let's try the drums after this old effect. That sounds a little better, but then, you know, I might come back to this 2 days after and be like, no, this other way sounded better. It's just how it goes. I'm just probably muddying things up way too much here. But we can always turn these things off later. Actually, let's clean this up and then copy some of this over into here. Yes. This off a little bit. Let's only turn this thing on every now and then. Cool, leave that off for the most part. Most of the time. All right. Honestly, this fragulator, now that I've sat with it for a few moments, sounds almost too crusty. We've got a lot of crust now, and we could drop it into here and just like wet and dry this sucker. There, just a little bit. Now that additive heaven just really brought the cheese. Cheesy. Almost like some silly dubstep in there too. Haha. As much as I try to avoid dubstep, Cool. I think we are good to go on this one. So yeah, it's been a fun, weird time. I kind of like doing bizarro video game music from 100 years from now, or just some silly, cheesy IDM music. However, which way you want to look at it. Cool, it was fun. So I guess until next time, yep. Keep it weird. Keep it weird.